everybody, how are you? It's Wednesday, it's the 6th, have I got that right? Is it the 6th of April? Yes, it's the 6th of April. It's 2 o'clock and I am Sam from Be Crafty. How are you doing? What are you saying? Are you having a very lovely Wednesday? I do hope so, because that would be nice, wouldn't it? I'm just trying to get my other tech alive so that I can take part in the conversation, should there be any. Sue James, good afternoon, darling. How are you? So, and also if I get my laptop in the wakey land, it means that I can see what you are seeing. Shireen, peekaboo. Diane, good afternoon. How are you, darling? So, what are we going to do today? Oh, I'm dropping things. That's collage paper that we might use. I haven't quite decided. I'm fine, thank you. How about you? I'm good. Yeah, all good, thank you. Busy morning. But, you know, that's Wednesdays. Wednesdays are notoriously busy for us. We've been and done our volunteering that we do. Oh, I've got a thing on my computer and I can't make it go away. What? Oh, it's alright. I've just clicked it again and it disappeared. Oh no. Now you've disappeared. There you go. Bevela, good afternoon. Dominique, hello. Right then. So, I have done a little preparation for this afternoon, largely because I am working in the birthday journal. For those of you who don't know what the birthday journal is, it's my Mahusive Dina journal. Instead of being 8 by 10, I think it's 10 by 14. I don't know, Bev will tell us. And I thought, so in it you have white pages, and you have burlap pages, and you have calico or cotton, whatever you want to call it. And you have you have craft pages. Oh, I thought that was like, so the brown craft, okay. And I've done, I think I did this one in this group. I can't quite remember. So I thought for a change we would go onto a white page, but with some black gesso in the middle. So I put the gesso on first, and I'm not. Well, that was windy, wasn't it? Hello, Noreen. How are you, darling? And I normally gesso a page before we get here, so this isn't anything really. I'll just move it a little bit so you can see better. This isn't anything really too unusual, but because it's in black, it just looks different. So yeah, I would normally. Sorry, that was just there so I knew which one it was. I would normally, like I say, gesso a page before I got here. So this is no different. It's still gesso. It's still there for the normal reason I put it there. And it's just so that the reason I gesso pages is basically so that whatever we're going to put on next sticks to it. It just aids the cohesion or adhesion. I feel like I'm using big words. Yeah, whatever we're going to put on top has got something to sort of cling on to. So the gesso that I've used there, it's Dina's black gesso. This isn't, I can't find my new pot. This is my old tube, which, yeah, but it's Dina's black gesso and it's fab. So yeah, there we go. Shall we get on? Should we do something? So I've got, let me just put these are stamps we might use. We'll put those with the collage paper that we might use. And that's something we might use. This is something we're definitely going to use. Well, the innies anyway. These are the Star Easy Frames, 6 and 4 inch. And essentially what I'm going to do, is it possible to work on? Oh, absolutely. Totally. It's totally possible. Well, I have done. Let me see if I can find. So that isn't gessoed. So that is the that's the craft paper, and that is the Dina Heavy Body Paint in lime and magenta, I think, with some Dylusions white linen paint, which I splodged on and then used my what are they called? My super skinny slim. This one. And I just, sorry, that made a horrible noise for you, didn't it? Scraped it that way. So yeah, you can go on without gesso. That wasn't gessoed. So the difference between gesso and acrylic paint, and this is, I'm not insinuating that you don't know, but if you don't, the reason I would gesso first, so this, I've gessoed this because I want to put quite a lot of paint on the top. And I want it to have something to stick to. And this paper is particularly porous. So with the gesso on first, what it does is, the gesso is, it's got something in it called tooth, which makes it more grabby. Like, I can't think of the right word, but like it grabs onto the paint. Whereas if I hadn't have put it there, the paper will grab onto the paint first, and then I've just got to work harder to build up the layers. Does that make sense? Whereas if I was to put, so this one, I used the white Dylusions acrylic paint instead of gesso, and that was so that I could get sort of a semi-translucent. So yes, it's white, but you can still see that there's colour underneath. And then whereas the white gesso and the black gesso, it's opaque, you know. So yeah, so the gesso, it's more rough. It's basically, you've got more of a, when I say rough, like the acrylic paint is smooth, slightly more shiny. The gesso is matte, so it's just got more. It's just more grabby, and that's why. Is that making sense? Tell me if it's not. But yeah, so that, the first page I showed you, that wasn't a gesso page. I haven't got loads in here. That wasn't gessoed either. That was gessoed. Like I say, there isn't lots in here. That was, but that's because it was on a burlap page and I wanted it to go through. That one wasn't. So yeah, you can absolutely choose to or to not. So I've got my little blending mat there. Oh no, have you lost me? I can still see me. I've got you on my laptop over there, so as far as I'm aware, I'm still going, so I'm going to just keep going. So I've got some Dylusions paint. This one is Blue Lagoon. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put some paint out on my, that's too much paint. It's too much paint. I've got mushy peas. You could never lose me. I know, I mean, you could try. But like, the reality of that. And I've got pink flamingo. How new is my pink flamingo? Da, 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 da. Oh, wow. That's nice, isn't it? Well, I didn't realise that was new. Oh well. Even more reason to use it. I'm going to let you into a little secret. You know, sometimes when me and Bev do these, and we've got we go, oh, well, that wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. I have no idea what this is going to be. We're going to put some white out as well because, you know. Yeah, Bev's tried to lose me. Yeah, so that's just like a little palette. So I've got the 4 colours I want now. It's all going to be dry brushed on. I don't know how it's going to work, and I'm not going to get upset about it if it doesn't do what I think. Okay? So, Innie, if you wanted to, you could use some blue tack or some low tack tape to stick this down. Yeah, that's not going to work for me. Not because for any reason. The reason I'm dry brushing on is because I want the brush strokes. They're going to add some how it sort of looks. If you didn't want the brush strokes, don't dry brush it. You would soon miss me if I got lost. Fake it till you make it. Well, that's why I thought I would just give you like a little heads up that I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm totally okay with that. If you're not, let's go for some pink. Now, in turn, pink and blue, we're going to get purple. We are, because that is the laws of science, you know. Hello, everybody joining in. Hello, Sonia. How you doing? So what's going to happen now is I'm just going to add some colour over the top in blocks as to how I want it to be. Pink and green make brown, so let's hope that doesn't happen. Ooh. Again, without the use of the, I've still got this stuck to my finger. Without the water involved, I've got less chance, or it's starting to go, look, of making mud. Because if you dilute it, oh, I quite like that. Good, I'm glad all is okay there. Now the thing is, the brush strokes, they're not for everybody. It's not for everyone, and you know that is all right. Now, like I say, so you can see where I've started as these colours have muddied. Now it actually hasn't done quite as much, and then I can start to, oh, I've just painted over the tip of that, but that's all right. We can start to drag that colour all the way over to the edge. You don't have to do this. I just want to. And any colour that you've got left on your palette, well, that's okay too. That's fine. And then what I'm going to do is just put that brush down. Now, I'm not going to put any water on it because I don't necessarily want to muddy those colours, and if I want more, then I'm going to need to keep that brush dry. Does that make sense? It kind of makes sense to me, but I'm not sure. So in with some white. Now, what I'm going to do is these stars, we are going to leave, we're going to work on one side of them. So essentially, that side is the darker side, so that side's the shadow. So we're going to place some colour into this side. Does that make sense? I know what I mean. I'm just not sure if I'm getting it right. So in the opposite, so the outer of this one is the blue Lagoon. So I'm going to take just a little bit of the pink and just dab it. Now ultimately we're going to go white over the top of this. So it's going to dumb down this colour. Now you could, if you were worried about getting too close to the edges, you could grab the outie and pop it over the top to help you. But I've still got some wet paint around the edges, which is why I haven't done that. Go faster, stars, exactly. So again, same, and it's tiny, tiny amounts of paint on this brush. And if we go over the edge, it's not actually a problem. It's just I'm going to stay in the lines as best I can. Unlike some of the parking I saw this morning. Of course, should have put colouring books on the windscreens. And told them, given them crayons and said, practice keeping in the lines. There we go. Then we need a bit more blue Lagoon. Now the nice thing about this paint is whatever is left over, I'm not going to worry about that. So when we put some white over the top of this in a minute, it's going to start to adopt the colour that's underneath. Yeah. And like I say, do you know the best thing about this is if you do something like this and you don't like it, what do you do? What do you do? Let's take some blue over here. You gesso over it, because your gesso is going to hide it, you know. Right, so same brush, let's grab some white. So it's already got a hint of blue. And like I say, if you prefer to work with your outies, you can. I'll do that on that one. I've already started with this one. Oh, well. Do you know what? Let's just show you what I mean. So you can pop that over the top if you're worried about the line situation. The reason I didn't do this is I quite like it when it's a bit rustic. But that just helps you get to that slightly quicker. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to have to finish it the same way there now, otherwise it's not going to look right. Yeah? Did that make sense? Now I've started, I'll have to do this at least this little one the same, won't I? Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to go quiet to myself now. So this one specifically, because it's got more colour underneath it, can you see how it starts to adopt that colour that's there? Exactly, Sue. You paint over it. If you don't like it, you paint over it. If someone tells you they don't like it, say, well, it's all right, it wasn't for you anyway. Now, because I am that cheeky, I can't remember which way I put this round now. Right. That looks about right to me. So, again, dry brushing. We're dry brushing because we want the brush strokes. And because it's highlighting, it's not painting over. And that side is remaining the dark side, so the light has to come this way. Yeah? Now I've gone down the rabbit warren of using the outie. We're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. So you can start to see where we've put colour underneath it, it's starting to mirror, well, it's not starting, it's starting to adopt the colour that's underneath. And that is okay, because what it means now is we'll grab some paint just on the edge of the brush, edge of the brush, and we're just going to pop it in there, down there. And all of these things, so what starts to happen now is you're starting to build essentially some depth within what you've got. So again, pop that there. Still no water, because I haven't quite decided. Now I want to bring some white and sort of almost brighten up what's going on around here now. That makes sense? And the reality is what I could then do is, if I grabbed the innie of my star, so if I wanted to create some, if we went slightly over the edge there, so we're just slightly a bit that way, we can put like you say, you use the brush strokes to give it some shooty star movement, you know. So again, you come into the side slightly. Well, that was too much, wasn't it? But was it? Was it too much? Was it indeed? My screen seems to have completely stopped. I hope you're all still here. And then what I want now is to grab my Inkable. I think it's called Multi-Stars. I can't entirely remember. I'm sorry to whoever I'm making angry. Very, very terribly sorry. And I might just grab the heat gun and just give it a quick waft. Just to be sure, you know. Yeah, my comments have completely stopped, so I'm sorry. I hope you're still here. I'll just keep going. Bev hasn't messaged me yet. So. Now again, if you didn't want to use acrylic for this, you could use gesso, you could use texture paste, you could... They look a bit chaotic because I'm trying to get the brush strokes in there. Quite love them. They're a bit mad, aren't they? A little bit. Just a little bit. Right. Still no water. And then what we can do now is start to... I'm going to need to make some room on my... I'm going to affectionately use the word palette. It's my blending mat, but it's brilliant for this because what it means is that I can get all the colours on there that I want. And realistically, when I'm done, if I no longer want those colours, I can spritz them and do a print in my journal, spritz it and put a colour in, put it in here onto a page, and just see what it picks up. So if you're now looking at this and you think, well, actually, I kind of want, I haven't got enough of a particular colour on there. Like, I'm going to grab the innie for these stars and put, I quite like this white thing that I did over here. So I'm going to put that one back on there. Grab the big brush, running out of white. just changes it. So now what I've got to do is be careful. Maybe I'll use a smaller brush, you know? Maybe I'll use a smaller brush. Kind of love it. Now the thing about these journals is anything that you're doing in them, treat it like a practice. So I said to you at the beginning of this, I didn't really know how this was going to work or what it was going to do, or that doesn't mean I'm not happy with sort of you definitely love it. But no, I love it. But what I'm saying is, like, when you do things like this, if you get to a point you go, I don't love it yet, you have two choices. You either keep going, I need more white. You either keep going or you step away. Step away, leave it alone, give it something to think about. I'm going to put some more. I want the little ones. The thing about the brush strokes for me is that it sort of gives it that almost a vintage feel, you know? And there's nothing to say that if you didn't want to, or if you wanted to, sorry, that you can't put some coloured stars in there either. But yeah, it just sort of gives it that vintagey feel. You just yeah. So Bev, she just keeps going, but I think I would say we both do that, Bev. I think that's something that we both do. Right, I'm going to dry it. I actually really like how it looks. It's like a tarnished tin sign, yeah. Yeah, but that's kind of the. I've just had a thought of something I might do, but I don't know whether it's a good idea. My brain is Star Wars. A little bit. If I say the words black shimmer paint, is anyone going to panic? So the Dylusions, obviously their paints all come in these little pots, but then they do the shimmer version as well. And I'm just wondering if we need like a few little shimmery, you know. Well, I suppose at this juncture, it's my page, and as I tell you, you can do whatever you want, but I'm not using that brush. I'm just going to grab a slightly less important brush, because then if I don't love it, I don't have to do it again, you know? But I'm going to keep the... I've noticed I've got some brush strokes here going the opposite way, but that's okay. Ooh! 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 So, I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing over here. Basically, when I take the paint onto the dry brush, I then almost pat most of it off. Oh, well, see, that changes everything. Now, admittedly, it's not picking up loads of the shimmer because I'm patting most of the paint off. Okay, so we need to do a big one. Let's just... Handily, when they're covered in paint, they just stick to your finger if you want to move them about a little bit. Just for refs. Just for refs. So if I take that one there... Hey Sam, have you thought about using stars? I love stars. I love stars. Stars and hearts are my favourite thing. Oh! Do you know, Bev, that's a really good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of it. What else starry could we put on? Let's do some little black ones. Okay, at some point we are going to have to put perhaps a word of some sort on here. I'm not sure. So that sort of dry brushing, it gives you that, like I said, that sort of vintage feel. Oh God. You're not meant to fall in love with the background, are you? Is that you guys that told me that? I mean, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Like, I feel like I need to take a bit of this blue. Ooh. The brushes are going to sleep. Put a bit of that in there. Just wake that one up. And you've fallen in love with the background, Bev. Silly, silly Billy. Oh God, I almost can't bear to put anything else on it. I know. Like, one of the things that I was going to use, I can't, like, I had all sorts of plans for these guys. It doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. So, we're going to back off from that. One of the things that I wanted to use was this stuff, but again, I can't bear to cover this up. So I think in my big creativity words. I do, but I don't know where they are. If you want to talk amongst yourselves and look at it for a second. I think this is one of those moments. So, you know when you look at something, guys, and you think, I don't know where to go now, without ruining it. That's quite cool. I'm just going to cut that out and see how it looks. I'm going to just cut it out and see how it looks. I'm not sticking anything down. No, it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. She couldn't keep her colours inside the line, so she drew new lines. Do you know what? I feel a bit, yeah, I feel a bit silly at this point because I never don't finish these, like, or I don't have a lot to do. But the difficulty is with this, it's so perfect for me as it is. I can't bear to put anything on it at the moment. I just can't. And do you know, in all, what I will say is, if you don't have this journal, let's say you have the Dylusions black journal, for example, this would work on there too. Would I say you need to gesso the background still? Because putting so much product on there, I would still gesso before I did any of this. But I can't, I'm just going to take that off because I can't bear to put anything on there just now. So whilst it has been not quite as long as I normally stay with you for the afternoon, I'm going to leave it alone before I ruin it. I'm sorry, I'm being quiet because I'm looking at it on the screen. Now, I'm not sure you're meant to quite admire your own work as much as I am right at this second, and I don't normally, but it just looks really cool. Like, it just looks, I just like how it looks. So, leave it somewhere you can see it for a few days, then decide what you want to put on top of it, if anything. I love it as it is. I do too. I think probably what it might need, and I can't do this for at least 24 hours, because it needs to be completely 100% dry, is I might get my trusty Posca pen. Now, this would work if I started it now, but to get the absolute maximum effect, the page needs to be 100% dry, and if I leave that to do that naturally, it will. So I am going to leave it to dry, and 24 hours from now I will know what I'm going to do with it. And I'll take a picture of it now and upload that for you onto this page so that if people want to find it later and they know what we did. If it changes, I will cordially update you and let you know. And if I don't, then it will just stay like it is forevermore. And yeah, that's it. So, prematurely, I'm sorry, but you know, when it's cooked, it's cooked. I shall leave you to away on your Wednesday afternoons. Thank you so much for indulging me for another afternoon. It's a privilege and a pleasure as always to spend it with you. Obviously this video is here for you. It'll also be uploaded onto YouTube so that you can watch it back and have a go. And if you do have a go, if you do this, would you again indulge me and show me how yours looks, just because I'm interested, because I didn't know what I was looking for, so I don't know if it's right or wrong. Do you know what I mean? So if you have a go, show me what you do. Thank you again. Wonderful company as always. Have a lovely rest of your afternoon, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. As in, not next week, week after. I'll be back. So take care, guys. I will see you really soon. Bye.